Pretty simple. Hence the name substitution. You're going to be substituting one of these equations in for one of the variables. Okay, what I mean by that is use substitution to solve the systems of equations. Okay, this is y equals negative 4x plus 12. And then we have another equation, 2x plus y equals 2. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to substitute. If this is y equals, even if it was x equals, okay, either x or y equals, we're going to substitute what we have for y here and substitute it in for y here. Okay? All right? So let's try that. So we're going to substitute what we have for y here, and we're going to plug it in for y. Okay? So now we're going to have 2x plus, guys, anytime you're going to substitute values in for something, always, always, always put them in parentheses. That's probably the safest way to do this. Write this down. Write this down. Okay? So I'm going to plug in negative 4x plus 12. Does everybody see that? I have y equals here. Y equals a negative 4x plus 12. All I'm going to do is substitute what I have for y up here in for y down here. Now make sure you finish that equation on the bottom. Okay, that's equals 2. Make sure you put equals 2. Okay? Pretty basic. Davis, what's going to happen with this negative 4x and plus? I mean, what's going to happen here? I mean, you could rewrite this to 2x minus 4x. You can go ahead and do that. That'd probably be the easiest thing. Do you see that? Because that negative really takes precedence over that positive. Okay? All right? Now, Damien, what am I going to do next? How am I going to solve for x here? How am I going to solve for x here? Yeah, we can combine these x's. So 2x minus 4x gives me a negative 2x. Plus 12 is equal to 2. Okay? So from here, we're just solving. We are solving for x. Noah, what are we going to do next? What do you think? For solving for x.
Oh, we want to divide it from the 2.
Not yet. Huh? Yeah, subtract 12 from both sides, absolutely. Let's go ahead and minus 12 from both sides. That's not my pen. So let me just change my pen. Much better. Okay. Now we have a negative 2x. It's going to give me a negative 10. And Jacob, what's our last step here?
Divide 10 by negative 10 by negative 2.
Yes, divide negative 2 to both sides. And what do we have left? Freddie, we got positive 5. Now, remember, we're talking about the solution. You know how we talked about how we graphed it. Whenever we graphed it, we found an x and y point. Okay, when we graphed this, we found an x and y point. Well, this is the same exact thing. So we have half of this information. Guess what we're going to do to figure out the y value now? Freddie, what you got?
Put the 5 and the y equals 4x, but substitute the x with 5.
Yeah, you've really done all the hard work. All you need to do is plug in 5, which is what you have for x, in for x. Now, you could plug it in either equation. It doesn't matter. But it looks like this would probably be the easiest one. If you just plugged in 5 right here, you could easily figure out what y is. Okay? Make sure you're writing this down. So I'm gonna come over to the side. I'm gonna write this in. Let's go blue for Duke. I'm sorry, Davis. So I'm gonna go y equals. I'm gonna substitute in 5 for x into that first equation. What can I do first here, Destiny? What am I going to do first here? We're solving for y now. Yeah, let's multiply that out. It gives me a negative 20. What am I going to get for y, Freddie?
No, negative 8.
Negative 8. Negative 20 plus positive 12 gives me a negative 8. Okay? Of positive 5 and negative 8. Okay? Your first step would be to substitute that 2x, plug that 2x, because it's y equals, plug it in for y right here. Okay? So now I'm going to have 3x plus 4 times 2x equals 11. Okay, that's the first step. Let's go ahead and multiply this out. 4 times the 2x, guys, make sure that's just distributive property. It gives me 8x. Everybody got this so far? Should have. Now, combine those terms. It gives me 11x. Okay? Dakota, what am I going to do here now? Since we got 11x is equal to 11. How are we going to solve for x? Yep, divide both sides by 11. Perfect. Well, 11 divided by 11 gives me 1. Destiny, what equation, or what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? How are we going to figure out the y value? Since we have the x value, how do we figure out the y value? What are we going to do up here? Freddie, help her out.
Substitute the x with 1.
Yeah, if this is x equals 1, well, now we know the value of x. So probably the easiest one is just use this first equation, and you could substitute for x. We got 1. Plug in 1. That just gives me 2. Okay? You see that, Destiny? And your answer or solution would be 1, 2.